Good. Are we live? I think we're live. Okay, cool. So we're gonna hop back into the debugging situation of the last stream where I was polishing up a few things before launch, and then testing out the Stripe integration one time before launch. And now we're going to work on the bug that we found. I don't know if I'm gonna wear this. It's too damn hot. Okay. Anyways, let me go ahead and put this screen so I'm not looking down. Go ahead and share my screen. There we are. All right. So what was happening was that when we upgraded the account, if we added the account, it wasn't changing the amount of credits that the person has. So it's basically like we weren't fulfilling our end of the checkout, which is no good. So I ended up here, and then I came back and I asked in. I always like saying this thing like in simple terms or a metaphor, and this is just like to get a grasp of what the hell we're talking about. What is the difference between anon key and service role key? What do they do? Where do they do it? Where do they connect? Anything else? Always do this. Like I have very rudimentary conversations with the chats so that I can understand things. I'm literally asking like, how do you even categorize such a thing, right? Like servers and functions and secrets and hooks and all this stuff. There's so many terms in this that if you're not comfortable with it, at least understanding like where they go and what they accomplish, then it's going to be harder. So I tend to do some things and then kind of back up if I'm feeling frustrated because I don't understand. And so this thing laid it out clearly. It said anon key is used to just, basically simulate an anonymous person's permission. When someone lands on your site, they can do a certain amount of things. And then the service role key is when they can do like admin things. So this could include these things here, and then also specifically with Stripe. And then again, I asked like just a bit more of an expansion question. So the anon key lives in GitHub and kind of is useless in Netlify, et cetera, et cetera. And then it's explaining you need both keys for different jobs. RLS doesn't remove the need for the service role key. It only governs what the anon key can do. So RLS governs what the anon key can do. I think that's what it's saying. Where the anon key is used. Anon key usually lives in the repo and is back in the front end at the same time. On Netlify, it's used when your site is built, then shipped to the browser. It's not used as there. It's how the client talks to Supabase. It's meant to be public. So it should be there. Okay. You need the service role key for a few things. I think that kind of was disagreeing with something I said earlier because I was like, do I need both of them in Netlify? Because if I don't, I just want to be simple. But I'll keep them both because this thing's being a little inconsistent. When the service role key is required, you need it for admin auth API, no user session, so webhooks, background runs without logged in user, acting across issue systems level task, clean migration, seeding. These are not user actions. I guess that makes sense. So it's anything that's like required to build the thing and fund the thing, but not use the thing in simplified terms, but still not totally accurate. When RLS and anon key is enough, every action is done by logged in user. You only need normal CRUD and auth. Read write rows, user allowed to see via RLS. Sign up, sign in, reset password, access tables or policies are tied to auth ID. Short answer, you always need the service role key for backend admin flows, webhooks, cron jobs, admin auth API, anything. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm going to redo RLS controls what anon key can do. Okay, so I'm going to talk to this again. Tell me like I'm stupid. Okay, very simply, to me, it sounds like, practically speaking, what you need service role key for is payment processing, APIs that are restricted to admin, or rerouting like the admin actual like, pull request or post request or whatever. Everything else is basically a user action. So does that kind of explain it, or do you need to rephrase that? That's right. In practice, you need the service role key when payment processing, webhooks, your server without a user session, your backend acts, the system updates data. So it needs a service role key. Admin only API, auth admin dashboards. Only the service role key can do all of these. Server side requests from systems. Anytime an external service or background job calls your API, there's no logged in user. Those requests run as the system has a specific user and the need service role key. Everything happens in the browser is logged in user can use the anon key RLS. The service role key is backend tied to a user session. Okay, so for the most part, that makes sense to me. Okay, let me just verify one more thing here. So if I attach an API call to a button, that can be an anon key. But if there's like a certain API in an admin panel that should only be accessed by admin users, that's going to be service, or that's going to be service role. Is that correct? Okay, so Whisper is not working. Hold on. That just didn't do anything. Did I press the wrong button? Let me just do it. Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. Check it out. Mostly correct. The second case depends on how you build it. Button API call triggers an add-on key. RLS decides what they can do. Okay, makes sense. Admin, it can either be key depending on how you implement it. Admin as logged in user, add-on key. Admin signs in, front end uses add-on key. RLS policies check. Separate admin backend. Admin runs on backend in separate app. Okay. Okay. And so Stripe always uses service role. Just need some clarity here. This is going to help me with everything going forward. Wait, what the fuck? Stripe doesn't use any Supabase keys. Stripe is a separate payment provider, never talks to your database. What actually happens, a customer pays on Stripe. Stripe sends an HTTP request to your webhook. Webhook runs on your server and decides to update Supabase. That webhook code creates a Supabase client and makes requests to Supabase. At step 4, the request is coming from Stripe servers to your backend. There's no user session, so auth ID is null. Your code needs to update another user's data, so you need a Supabase client with enough access. That's why your webhook uses the service role. So Stripe uses nothing from Supabase. Your webhook handler uses the service role key when it talks. I mean, well, isn't that the same thing? I mean, in practical terms, isn't the webhook handler a part of Stripe, or is it something else? So these are the types of conversations that I'm having sometimes because it goes too technical, and I just need to know, like, yeah, okay, cool. PSI is PSI, but you're always talking about wheels. Webhook handler is in your code, not Stripe's. Stripe only sends an HTTP request to the URL you configure in the Stripe dashboard. Your webhook handler is the code you wrote and deployed, e.g. on Netlify. It receives the post from Stripe, runs your logic, talks to Supabase. So the flow is Stripe sends a request to your URL. Netlify or your server runs your function. Your function processes the event and updates Supabase. Okay. So there is an edge function in Netlify, is what you're saying, and the service role key is listed there to give access to that properly. And the webhook only calls that edge function. Is that correct? I think I'm getting it. Almost. Okay. Serverless functions. Netlify function on edge function. You have a function. Do I? Let me see my Netlify real quick. Where's my functions? Where are my functions? I don't see my functions. I don't know. Where are my functions, dog? How come I can't see them? Is a Netlify function similar to Edge function in the same code? I don't see it in Netlify. Netlify function, Node.js, do you know your repo API folder? It's in the code. Interesting. Go to functions or build and deploy functions. Oops. Deploy settings. environment variables functions. I don't see anything. Function directory API. I guess that's all it says. Okay, I guess it's just the configuration I'm supposed to see, not the actual code itself that lives in the thing. In Netlify, all I see is that it says the configuration is API. So if I'm understanding correctly, that's basically all I can see in Netlify, but the actual like code and what it does is in the app file. Is that correct? Let me see. Let me see. About to fucking throw something through a window. Yes, I've got it right. Okay. Okay. This is so confusing. Okay. So, anyways, I think we got it right. Without running Stripe again. I'm just going to ask. I don't even think it's possible, but we got to do it. The limit enforcement working correctly, so that's good. I'll take that off the readiness list. Started plan checkout. I mean, it's all it really is just making sure. Making sure it does. And then this is kind of together. This is what we're doing right now. That's what we're doing right now. Okay, I can go to my logs. Let me go to my function logs. Functions. Oops. Requests. I don't think it even called it. So the way it failed, I'm not supposed to be expecting a log in Netlify, right? Because that's what we're thinking. Like it didn't even send the right information to the webhook. Is that right? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking happened right there. So let me go into Stripe real quick and dig something up. Let me dig something up. They're all playing right now. Give me 15 minutes. So I'm going to look at something really quick and then I'm going to hop off because, again, this is something I can only do at a certain amount of time because it just, it really frustrates me sometimes. Sorry that I can't show you a ton right now. I'm digging into some nitty gritty things within Stripe and I don't want to accidentally reveal something. So let me make sure I can see some stuff and confirm that. Nothing sensitive, and then we'll talk about it. So we got a 200 code at 425. That was earlier. Payment links. Payment link. Active job. Created always. Interesting. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, I can show you guys this. So this image, can I see it? That's what showed up. So I'm going to say this is all I see from that last payment. I'm just going to go into plan because I don't know what it's about to do right now. Oops. I don't know what it's about to do sometimes. Let me see. Okay. Sent the message to the group chat with the boys, dude. Gotta do that, you know what I mean? Gotta let them know that you're coming. Okay. I'm trying to. Okay. Webhook endpoints, open events. Okay, I know where that is. Events. Here we go. So logs is logs, and oh wow, it did send something actually. Ooh, error. Bad request. Okay, I'm not going to show you guys the full details. I'm almost certain there's something in here I shouldn't be showing you guys, so I'm just going to keep it small. Let's see what this says. New customer, new payments, new link, payment intent, charge succeeded, invoice, session complete. Da-da-da-da. So it failed for some reason. Stripe is calling the wrong endpoint. Your fixed webhook code lives in the netlify function. Interesting. Wait a minute. So at one point, did we set it up to point to Supabase edge function as that thing? Are those two different viable strategies, having a Supabase edge function handle this and having a netlify function handle this? Or what? Because I see something in here in Supabase that says Stripe webhook, and it wasn't called today. No, it was called today, but it had 400 errors. Do you need to see that? Why are we having like, seems like both things want the function. What's going on? Again, sometimes you just talk to this thing like a freaking, employee or child, and then it lets you get your frustration out, and at the same time, like your point across and stuff. So, sometimes you just have to do it, man. Go here, open history. Probably not going to wait. It's not going to work. All right. Okay, fuck yeah. I always get nervous. Nothing doesn't work because then I have to like think a little more. All right, let's fucking clear this up, man. Exist and has updated logics. Supabase edge function for Stripe. Nothing in this repo. Your reference says use API. Interesting. Well, why would you do one over the other? I guess that's my question.